We are joined this morning by Braveboy. He's an artist out of Trinidad. How are you doing this morning?
Morning, St. Kitts, Nevis. Greetings from Trinidad and Tobago.
Awesome, man. And how are you doing? How are things in Trinidad?
I'm good, everything is kind of starting back up here. The pandemic had us all, restricted for 2 years.
Yeah.
So, the fets, the parang about to start. I don't know if you all know about parang music.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, the parang about to start in Trinidad. It's Christmas time. We're also prepping for Carnival. Carnival 2023 is probably going to be the biggest carnival ever, at least since I'm born.
Well, I could imagine, because we actually, in our carnival season, we had our opening of carnival on Friday, and the excitement is crazy. I guess people are coming back with a revenge after 2 years of scaled down celebrations. People are really, really excited about what is to come. So I'm sure it's the same thing in Trinidad.
It's the same thing, yeah. It's the same thing. Lots of excitements, lots of good soca songs already, like a lot of rhythms released already for Carnival 2K13. 23. That's it, 2K13.
But speaking of music, Jade let the cat out the bag that you are a musical artist. And what I would like is if you just tell our listeners and viewers just a bit about yourself and what is it that you do.
Yeah, no problem. So my real name is actually Marcus Braveboy. So Braveboy is actually my real surname.
Oh,
Wow.
I like that.
I know.
Yeah. And my family is originally from Grenada on my dad's side. So big up the Grenada fam, it's one Caribbean. And I mean, Braveboy, I've been doing music. My father was in the media as a television producer and television host. And from a very young age, he got me into music, from playing the clarinet to writing and singing calypsos. And then, in the teenage years, everybody wanted to be a DJ. It was the sound system days. So I started experimenting on that. And I couldn't afford to do my own doublets. So I would actually create my own doublets instead of paying artists to do it. And that's how I started getting into chanting, And there's a group from Trinidad and Tobago called Treason. I don't know if you all ever heard of Treason.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Listen, Azim is a musical genius, by the way.
No. I try to follow what's happening around. Definitely.
I never artist look to
He's not on that side. I mean, actually.
No,
you're
I'm
not an artist, but he's
I'm not.
actually a musician. He has a band and he's a. What else do you do?
I like music.
I music. We could pass for family.
No, that is true. You might be you might be a part of his band now. We don't know.
Yeah, I might have some family now. St. Kitts, Nevis. But yeah. So and then I took some time off to study law. I have an LLB from the University of London.
Interesting.
Okay.
And then I got on the business side of the music industry, and then I relaunched as a solo artist, and I did pretty well in the underground in Trinidad, and then I had some big songs in Trinidad in the hip hop scene. My biggest songs are Nah Boy, if you're from Trinidad, Nah Boy, which is Trinidad slang,
Right.
and also Pumpin', so Nah Boy, Pumpin', Isa Trini, those were some popular songs that I had. And then I met a EDM collective from Los Angeles called Bad Royal, and I ended up going on tour with them. So I performed in the EDM circuit. I did a small US tour. I performed at Lollapalooza in Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Which is probably my biggest gig to date. I performed at in Los Angeles, San Diego, just Chicago, lots of different parts of the States. And yeah, and here now the pandemic, I actually had so many plans to travel in 2020, and then the pandemic locked us all down.
Yeah.
So I took the time to kind of network globally and experiment with reggaeton music, Afrobeats music, and just different styles of music. So I've definitely just been trying to find my sound, and I think that I finally found it. And I have a tag, Braveboy Meets World. Yeah, it's a play on the popular show Boy Meets World, and it's just my journey right now as an artist. I feel like, I'm an artist from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, but I'm definitely a globally minded Caribbean person.
Right.
And I have my sights set on the global market. Hopefully I could be the next Sean Paul.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing for me is that is the type of mindset that we encourage even our artists here to have when we have conversations with them, recognizing that uh, the world is really your oyster, all right? And people, good music resonates with people no matter where they're from.
Definitely
All right.
does.
Facts.
But in terms of you did mention a bunch of different influences and experimentation with your music. But how would you describe your sound as it is now in its evolution, and how would you describe your sound?
That's a good question. So I always called my music raga fusion because I feel like I always, even if I change the style of music instrumental wise, I feel like that chanting, yo, they call me Mr. Flex and proper bring the fire to the place like that is a Caribbean authentic style. It's almost like Caribbean rapping.
Right.
And I feel like globally they call me a rapper, which I am known as a rapper in Trinidad, but globally they refer to me as a rapper. So they see that as a almost like Caribbean rap.
Right.
So raga, and we know it as raga, which is big up Bunji Garlin, big up, KMC, Ataclan, Rocky. These are artists who really influenced me. Being a teenager in the late 90s. And even I like to move it. Who let the dogs out?
Right. Cardinal Official, etc.
Yes, you know the thing, man. Cardinal Official is actually met him in Trinidad. He's one of my biggest influences. Busta Rhymes. I'm really influenced by American hip hop as well. Right. I came up watching Rap City and with Big Tigger and 106 and Park, and also I into rock music, I into pop music. I used to listen to like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Sugar Ray.
Right.
So I'm a well-rounded artist, influence wise.
I mean, in the Caribbean, I know in some islands in particular, not performing what would be termed as indigenous music sometimes creates a barrier to local support, right? So if for instance in Trinidad, you're not really doing soca and that thing. Does it feel that way initially, that you had a bit of an extra hurdle to get over to have your music resonate with the population there? Or is it just that the population is just so open to music from all genres that they didn't have to have that fight?
I would say that's such a good question. I would say I'll be honest, I had to prove myself. So I started off going in the underground circuits in Trinidad, like opening for soca artists. I'm the only hip hop man in some shows. And everybody watching me like, why, who is this man? Why is he singing hip hop? And it just took a while. Like, honestly, I've put in the work. Like, a lot of people in Trinidad could tell you that they know me from, like just being on the social scene. I used to promote parties. I have my own social media agency. So I'm somebody who's always out and about. But in terms of the musical side, I think I grinded my way up. And after big up Young Rod and Mevon, we created a genre called trap soul music about 6 years ago. And it was like a cross between Atlanta trap music and rap soul and soca. And we were, I must say, like, we had a 4-year run of having like hit songs in Trinidad. So to have a hit song that's not soca in Trinidad, talking about, we were on every radio station. We were, we had gigs all over the place in Trinidad and in Tobago, opening for Shaba, Future, big artists,
Right.
I've experienced that, but to answer your question, initially there was a fight, but you can't fight good vibes and you can't fight good music. And, like, especially the youth, and you always say the streets, once the streets feeling something, I think that, it's inevitable that it will take over the airwaves and everybody will have access to it eventually.
Yeah, it'll find its way. It'll find its way to the ears of the masses once it resonates with a core set of fans. So I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I think just to add, I'm so happy to do this interview, because I always had a goal to, spread out of Trinidad in terms of, because I've done stuff, when I say like globally in other countries, but like on the other side of the world, but the Caribbean is important to me. And I'm so happy to connect with my Caribbean brothers and sisters, like St. Kitts Nevis, like, I just appreciate being able to connect with you all. I've never visited St. Kitts Nevis, and that shouldn't be,
Right.
It should be in the Caribbean. It should be a cheap flight away to go and visit St. Kitts. You go St. Kitts for the weekend, or they come Trinidad for the weekend.
Right.
So hopefully this is the start of more connections.
Yeah, for sure. I think that when artists are looking to move out of their home bases, right? Generally the islands where they reside and that kind of thing. We go to places that has a collective of people from that island. So it becomes like a bridge.
Exactly.
But generally what happens is that ends up being the Americas, the UK, the bigger places where you could find this congregation of persons who share your culture, and you could use that as that bridge. And sometimes it feels even more difficult to get to the places that share more of your culture, the different islands, than to even get to a place like the US and start working. So I'm happy to hear that
Yeah,
there's a reach out. Yeah.
which is interesting. It's just so interesting, and I mean, I'm actually intrigued by St. Kitts and Nevis to know what the music scene is like there, what the nightlife is like there, just what the vibe is. Like it's a new place to me, even though it shouldn't be, but I'm still excited.
Right. Well, who knows? This might be the beginning of something new, and we might be walking down the road and see, hey, what up, bye.
As a yeah. No, anything could happen, and with that said, like I'm pounding the ground online, using my networking skills to meet as many people around the world, and I hope to do a tour in 2023.
Tell us a bit about your latest releases that's being pushed right now.
Yeah, so my latest song is actually called "Big Man Don't Cry," and
That's
it's
a
an
fact.
interesting song.
That's a fact, yeah.
Yeah, it's a breakup song. When last you cry?
Well, that's your boyfriend.
I think it might have been 93, if I'm not mistaken. Big Man Don't Cry, Jade. Yeah, Big Man Don't Cry, Jade.
Bad man don't cry, big man don't cry. But on a serious note though, I was going through a lot over the past 2 years. The pandemic, but also my dad was sick, and he passed away 3 months ago, and it was a very difficult time for me. Especially being a creative, because we never stop. We always on. Even though it was the pandemic, I was releasing music, I was doing interviews, and I could not create. I'm known for doing party music or hype music, and I just could not, for that period of time, go in that space to create fun, happy music. I was in a very, very vulnerable space, and there's a studio I started working with in Trinidad and Shogunas, Golden Era Production, and the producer, he's a guitarist, he makes a lot of soulful beats. And there's this beat he played, and I was like, bro, I need to go in on that. And I just started to think about, like when you're going through hurt and emotions. And I started to think, as a man, it's almost like you feel weird expressing your emotions in public,
Right.
It's more something in private, You might, if you're close enough to your brethren, you might tell your brethren, boy, this girl break my heart. Or you might tell the girl herself, right? So while penning this song, I actually thought about Big Man Don't Cry, and also the Buju song, Who Said That Big Man Don't Cry?
Right.
And I remembered it, and I was like, this would be a pretty dope tagline for the song. And yeah, and it's honestly doing pretty well in Trinidad. It's on rotation on different stations, both pop stations and urban stations. And it premiered in Kenya, it premiered in Ghana, it premiered in Antigua, it premiered in the UK. And now it's being premiered on St. Kitts Nevis on 98.9 Win FM.
Boom bam.
Vibes.
Boom bam.
Well, guess what? No,
I'm very
interested to hear of what it sounds like. So let's take a listen.
Sounds good.
My life, why, baby, why, instead of singing lullabies, you here with me.
Wow, Braveboy, Big Man Don't Cry.
You're trying to hurt some feelings out here, man.
I might have shed a tear or two just now.
Yeah. I see here I start to well up. I was wondering what's happening.
Yeah, Jade, when the music hit you deep, you know what I mean?
See the men on the live, kind of catch yourself. Lord, I must see.
The men on the live, see it resonating. The men on the live understand what Braveboy was talking about.
What happened here? The song was too much for the airwaves.
Zoom and all can deal.
Zoom and all can't catch themselves.
Zoom and all can't catch themselves, Jade.
Lord God. Is either Zoom or internet? One of the two of them.
Maybe the internet because them comments went crazy just now.
Okay, he back. He
Yeah,
back.
I'm back. So,
Alright.
what did y'all think about the song?
As in was in here crying and stuff, man. You can't do that. You can't just drop them kind of songs on people.
From the time the first line come in, you came into my life. I done ready to run out in here. You know?
Cause that's where you went wrong, eh?
That's where I went wrong. I let it
You
in.
might
Jane.
message your ex. You might message your ex-girlfriend.
Or two. Or three.
Yeah, or two, or our ex-boyfriend.
Look, do not encourage Jade with these narratives.
Listen, let me tell you something about my friend here, so right? He's a little toxic. So he about to use this song. He about to send a broadcast with this song right now.
Yeah, no, the spread. Yeah, the spread is therapy, is healing.
It's just all it is, Jade.
That's not what he's using it for. I can tell you that right now.
Nah, but it's definitely a beautiful song,
It is.
Braveboy, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I sense a bit of personal experience coming out in the lyrics, and you could feel it in the song, and I think that makes it very relatable.
Yeah, it's honestly personal experiences. From past relationships, and it's growth as a man. I'm in my 30s now, and it's like as a man in your 30s is different from as a man in your 20s in terms of how you handle relationships and love, and and just being you're trying to be a better person, But
yeah, y'all don't bounce back like y'all used to.
Yeah.
No.
It's a whole different energy, and also there's a music video. There's a music video for the song. It's on YouTube. It's starring a beautiful model by the name of Suan Bramble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So big up to Suan, and we made it very realistic. We had to act out being a couple, and you can see it on YouTube on my channel. Just search Braveboy, Big Man Don't Cry, and it's directed by award-winning filmmaker Michael Mulida. So I had to plug my boy Mikey. He has a film called Green Days by the River. So we gotta get Green Days by the River in St. Kitts, Nevis.
Nice. Well, I mean, it's obviously a good song, and I'm happy to hear that there's this the effort being made to really present it in this way with the video and ensuring that you have the right people involved. And I think that there is a real beautiful mix between your singing voice and what you would have termed as your ragga presentation and your rapping.
Yeah.
I think that meshes so beautifully, and over the beautiful instrumentation and the lyrics. I think it's just a really good composition, man. Like, kudos to you on this one.
Yeah, some people saying I'm like Caribbean Drake.
Hey!
That's a lot of feelings right there.
That's a lot of feels, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of feels. But I think this is somewhat, I wouldn't say new for me, because I started off writing in a very vulnerable place like 10 years ago. But in between, I started to make more gal tune, and I think mixing it is nice. As human beings, we have different sides. So you can definitely expect more music from the heart and soul from Braveboy. But this one is very special, especially with my dad's passing and just being in a emotional place. And it's the first song I've released where I get a lot of messages from people saying this song made me cry, or this song reminded me of my ex, or thank you. Somebody from Russia messaged me telling me that he's going through a breakup, and this song really is helping him get through it. So music powerful. You never know where music can reach.
That is true. Azim, there you go. You have a song now to help heal and mend your broken heart.
The lovely ladies of St. Kitts, Nevis.
The scar tissue that exists on my heart, I don't know if it's possible.
Listen to the song enough.
Just play it on repeat.
Play it on repeat.
You're going to start to feel something.
Therapeutic.
Yes, man.
Play it on rotation.
Yeah, you and Carib Pappy talking.
Carib Pappy.
You and Carib Pappy here trying to get me in my feels. Okay, all right.
Carib Pappy is amazing. That is an amazing nickname.
Carib Pappy. I'll take that.
You think about it, eh?
Have I changed? I say they call me in St. Kitts, Nevis, they call me Carib Pappy.
Oh man, but it's really amazing. The song, and of course, if people wanna watch the video, watch your social media, as well as check out any more of your past music, what's the best way for them to keep in contact with what's going on in your career?
No problem. So on Instagram, it's at Braveboy. That's Braveboy. And on all other social media platforms, it's at Real Braveboy. That's RealBraveboy. And if you want to see all my music videos, all my music, go to solo.to/Braveboy. That's solo.to/Braveboy.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are people who are going to go and check it out now. From the reactions on the live, people do really seem to appreciate your talent and what it is that you've produced. And I'm sure they're gonna go and try and find more of what you have in store for us, and look forward to whatever is next. But I mean, that just mean you gotta come sing it now.
Yeah. We are booking my flight. I come on. Carry Papi. Just carry Papi like in concert. 98.9 with FM.
Boom bam, I like that.
But if you all eventually, I don't know if you'll come in Trinidad for Carnival.
I really want to.
Come,
yeah,
just give me a hail. I'll make sure you're all good.
All right, well, that sounds like a plan, Jade.
Like an invite.
That sounds like an invite.
Yeah.
It's
gonna be a big one.
Yeah, it definitely is. I know that people are just really, really excited to be kind of coming back out of COVID, and of course performances is a big part of that. So I mean, even with you, you said you had a lot of stuff booked in 2020. Hopefully, this helps to jumpstart some more of those performances and have you moving around to present your music to even more people sooner rather than later.
And I think I learned a lot, honestly, about this song in terms of there is room for pop music from the Caribbean, or like a Drake style song.
Yeah.
Because the response, it has honestly been amazing for the song. I think a lot of people could relate it. And it's not just, it's a global song. Like people from all over the world so far are giving me good feedback. So I'm just trying to push it at my own management, my own everything, my own label. So I just pushing it on the ground as much as I could. So
we love it.
Good vibes.
We love it. And we look forward to seeing what else you come out of the kitchen with. Hopefully another heartbreak song, The men need it. They need songs that could resonate. We have enough.
Well, my next song might be Carry Papi. The girl them call me.
Just be sure to credit my friend
here. We do a song together.
I'm looking forward to that song, too, yeah?
I know, man.
But Braveboy, it's been a real pleasure meeting you, talking to you, and of course listening to your music.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you would have gained a few fans today. Of this conversation.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Blessings. I cannot wait to visit St. Kitts Nevis. I mean, it seems like such a beautiful place.
It is.
Yeah, as I said, I really want to connect the Caribbean. I feel like there's no reason for us to not be traveling into Caribbean more. So
yeah,
I can
agree. And the thing is, the music is definitely boundaryless. It definitely resonates, like you said, on a global level. And it's definitely one of the things that helps to foster like just this interrelationships between people from different countries, different backgrounds, religions, etc. So definitely looking forward to you coming and hanging out in St. Kitts, man.
Sounds good. And I'll see you all there, Carnival 2023.
Jade, you got Jade is a fetaholic, okay? So definitely she'll be down for that for sure.
Indeed.
Yeah, Jade, you're playing in Tribe. You're playing in Tribe.
Listen, I'm looking at y'all to sell off before 2023. So I might be playing on the side.
And you're into Juve?
Our carnival is literally packed with those type of activities. It is currently happening, so we are going full into carnival mode throughout December into early January. Where we
wow.
Yeah. We have Juve, we had road activities, we have fetes and parties and parades and pageants. We have the whole 9 yards, man.
And if I had to listen to artists from St. Kitts Nevis, who would you recommend?
I have several that you can listen to. So
we'll link up and we'll send you some stuff.
I was about to do it now.
Well, go ahead, give him some names.
I want to tell the people that Trinidad as well, So I will let them know.
So yes, y'all have to listen to Byron Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes, y'all have to listen to Jedos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mad Stoney.
Yeah.
Zoo. iMac. Dijon.
And Highlight.
and then make sure y'all get some band music. So listen.
Band music.
Yes, so listen, Grandmaster's band.
So we got to send you a link. We send you a playlist.
You said, but there's a cultural exchange here.
Yeah.
Carry come. We want some sponsorship for 98.9 and bring a cultural cultural exchange.
Yes, trust me, there's a lot of music here that you can listen to. I will definitely send you some. So you could get connected and familiar. And maybe we could see a collaboration come out of that.
I would love that. Big Man Don't Cry remix.
Trust me, I know the exact person.
Oh, yes.
Byron,
Oh, Byron.
this is your turn. This is the time to
Byron,
shine.
Byron, link up. Let's do a collab.
Oh my gosh. And Byron actually in Trinidad actually.
Oh,
Well, he
yeah.
spends a lot of times in Trinidad.
does spend a lot
I
of
think
time.
he's signed to Prince Swanee.
He is.
Oh, Brian. Okay.
Yeah,
Big up
but-
Prince Swanee. Prince
yeah.
Swanee is actually, I mean, I can give you a list of Trini artists to listen to as well.
Oh
you know.
no, trust me,
Prince
we
Swanee
up
is
on them, man.
definitely-
We up on them here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big up. Lots of talent in Trinidad.
Yeah, for sure.
And Tobago. Cannot forget to Trinidad and Tobago. Big up Tobago. Tobago is a very special place.
Indeed. Well, Braveboy, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you this morning and having you come chill with us and presenting yourself and your music to the sippers right here on Island Tea. Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yes. Blessed.
That's a good song, Jay.
Boy, listen, that's
a good
your
song.
feels, I said, right in the feels.
I saw I had to tell you to take off the camera.
Oh, can't let them see you cry, cause big man don't cry.
Big man don't
Yeah,
cry,
yeah,
Jay.
yeah. No, I would you. Can't let them see that side of you.
Big man don't cry. Yeah. I mean, I call your time, yeah. Call your time, and then...
How was it for you?
I didn't really feel good. That's why I never do it again, so...